सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तन गोविंद हरि गोविंद सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तन गोविंद हरि गोविंद गोविंद हरि गोविंद हरि गोविंद हरि गोविंद गोविंद हरि गोविंद हरि गोविंद हरि गोविंद पुराण पुरुष गोविंद हरि पुण्य श्लोक गोविंद पुराण पुरुष गोविंद हरि पुण्य श्लोक गोविंद भक्तवत्सल गोविंद हरि भागवत प्रिय गोविंद भक्तवत्सल गोविंद हरि भागवत प्रिय गोविंद कृष्ण राम गोविंद हरि राम कृष्ण गोविंद कृष्ण राम गोविंद हरि राम कृष्ण गोविंद राम राम गोविंद हरि साई राम गोविंद राम राम गोविंद हरि साई राम गोविंद सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तन गोविंद हरि गोविंद गोविंद हरि गोविंद हरि गोविंद हरि गोविंद पुराण पुरुष गोविंद हरि पुण्य श्लोक गोविंद भक्तवत्सल गोविंद हरि भागवत प्रिय गोविंद कृष्ण राम गोविंद हरि राम कृष्ण गोविंद राम राम गोविंद हरि साई राम गोविंद राम राम गोविंद हरि साई राम गोविंद सर्वत्र गोविंद नाम संकीर्तन गोविंद हरि गोविंद अनंत संसार समुद्र तारा नौकायिताभ्यां गुरुभक्तिदाभ्यां वैराग्य साम्राज्यद पूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरुपादुकाभ्यां कवित्ववाराशिनिशाकराभ्यां दौर्भाग्यदावाम्बुदमालिकाभ्यां दूरीकृतानम्रविपत्तिताभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् नताययोः श्रीपतितां समीयुः कदाचिदप्याशो दरिद्रवर्या मूकाश्च वाचस्पतितां गीताभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् नालीकनिकाशपदाहृताभ्यां नानाविमोहादिनिवारिकाभ्यां नमज्जनाभीष्टततिप्रदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् नृपालिमौली व्रजरत्नकान्ति सरिद्विराजन् झषकन्यकाभ्यां नृपत्वदाभ्यां नतलोकपङ्क्ते नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् पापान्धकारार्कपरम्पराभ्यां तापत्रयाहीन्द्रखगेश्वराभ्यां जाड्याब्धिसंशोषणवाडवाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् समाधिषट्कप्रदवैभवाभ्यां समाधिदानव्रतदीक्षिताभ्यां मुक्तेः हेतुश्च स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् स्वार्चापराणामखिलेष्टदाभ्यां स्वाहा सहायाक्षधुरन्धराभ्यां स्वान्ताच्च भावप्रदपूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् कामादिसर्पव्रजगारुडाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्यनिधिप्रदाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां द्रुतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम्
There was no one to know who I am. Till I created this world at my pleasure with one word. Immediately mountains rose up. Immediately rivers started running. Earth below and sky over its head. Oceans, seas, lands and watersheds. Sun, moon and desert sand sprang up from nowhere to prove my existence. Came all forms of human beings, mankind, beasts and birds flying, speaking, hearing, and all powers were bestowed upon them under my orders. The first place was granted to mankind, and my knowledge was placed in his mind. Come one, come all, let us not be ungrateful called. Let us faithfully serve Sai, him, and love him, love him, love him.
कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजम् ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामभित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्
जातवेदसे सुनवामसो ममराति यतो निदहाति वेदः स नः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वानावेव सिन्धुम् दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णाम् तपसा ज्वलन्तीम् वैरोचनीम् कर्मफलेषु जुष्टाम् दुर्गाम् देवीम् शरणमहम् प्रपद्ये सुतरसि तरसे नमः अग्ने त्वम् पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा पूश्च पृथ्वी बहुलान उर्वे भवातोकायतनयाय संयोः विश्वानि नो दुर्गः जातवेदः सिन्धुम् ननावादुरितादिवर्षे अग्ने अत्रिवन्मनसा गृणानो स्माकम् बोध्यविदातनूना प्रदनाजितगुम् सावानमुग्रमग्निगुम् भुवेम परमा सदस्तात् स नः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वाक्षामद्येवो अधिदुरितात्यग्निः प्रत्नोषि कमेड्यो अध्वरेषु सनाच्च होतानव्यस्य चत्से स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवम् विप्रयस्वास्मभ्यम् च सौभगमायजस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमयुजो निषिक्तम् तवेन्द्रविष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नाकस्य पृष्ठमपि संवसानो वैष्णवे लोकमिह कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारि धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यम् भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुरु प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच।
नमो तस्सा भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्सा बुद्धं शरणं गच्छामि धम्मं शरणं गच्छामि संघं शरणं गच्छामि। बिस्मिल्लाह अर्रहमान अर्रहीम बिस्मिल्लाह अर्रहमान अर्रहीम बिस्मिल्लाह अर्रहमान अर्रहीम। ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह अल्लाह अल्लाह La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah.
O Lord, take my love and let it flow in fullness of devotion to Thee. O Lord, take my hands and let them work incessantly for Thee. O Lord, take my soul and let it be merged in one with Thee. O Lord, take my mind and thoughts and let them be in tune with Thee. O Lord, take my everything and let me be an instrument to work.
जय जय गुरुदेवा श्री साई महादेवा।
जय जय गुरुदेवा श्री साई महादेवा।
जय जय गुरुदेवा श्री साई महादेवा।
गुरुदेवा श्री साई
जय जय गुरुदेवा श्री साई महादेवा।
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 ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वरा साई महादेवा।
ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश्वरा साई महादेवा।
मात पिता गुरुदेवा श्री 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 साई महादेवा।
जय जय गुरुदेवा श्री साई महादेवा।
मधुरापुरी निलये मीनाक्षी। मधुरापुरी निलये
రామ ధ్యాన నిరత ఆంజనేయ రామ సేవావృత హనుమంత రామ ధ్యాన నిరత ఆంజనేయ రామ సేవావృత హనుమంత స్వామి ముఖ్య ప్రాణ పవమాన దైత్య కులాంతక మహావీర స్వామి ముఖ్య ప్రాణ పవమాన దైత్య కులాంతక మహావీర అంజనాద్రివాస గుణవంత అంజనాద్రివాస గుణవంత దాసానుదాస హనుమంత శ్రీరామదాస హనుమంత రామ ధ్యాన నిరత ఆంజనేయ రామ సేవావృత హనుమంత మాయా విభంజన బల భీమా మార విజయ ఘన రామదూత మాయా విభంజన బల భీమా మార విజయ ఘన రామదూత ముని గుణ కపివర వాతాత్మజ ముని గుణ కపివర వాతాత్మజ దాసానుదాస హనుమంత శ్రీరామదాస హనుమంత రామ ధ్యాన నిరత ఆంజనేయ రామ సేవావృత హనుమంత రామ ధ్యాన నిరత ఆంజనేయ రామ సేవావృత హనుమంత
సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం షణ్ముఖనాథ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం 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 షణ్ముఖనాథ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం 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 షణ్ముఖనాథ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం 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 షణ్ముఖనాథ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం శివ 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 సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం హర 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 సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం ఓం శివ 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 సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం హర 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 సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం జై శివ 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 సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం హర 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 సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం శివ శివ హర హర సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం హర హర శివ శివ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం శివ శివ హర హర సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం హర హర శివ శివ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం 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 షణ్ముఖనాథ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం ఓం సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం షణ్ముఖనాథ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం జై సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం షణ్ముఖనాథ సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం 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 కనుక యువకులైనటువంటి వారు
youth,
ఆధ్యాత్మిక మార్గములో ఆనందాన్ని అనుభవించబోయేటువంటి వారు
the spiritual seekers who wants
ఈ
to be
సత్యాన్ని
blissful,
గుర్తించి తక్షణమే తన జీవితంలో తగినటువంటి మార్పులు కూర్పులు కలగాలి.
should understand this truth and modify their lives accordingly.
దుశ్చింతనలకు ఏమాత్రం కూడా అవకాశం ఇవ్వకూడదు.
Never give any scope for bad
వస్తాయి
thoughts.
కానీ నీవు ప్రవేశపెట్టినప్పుడు అది వస్తాయి కానీ లేకపోతే అది రావు.
But they do come, but you should not entertain.
ఇక్కడ ఒక చిన్న ఉదాహరణ.
Here is a small example.
భవనం కట్టుకున్నాం.
Here you construction building.
ఇంత విశాలమైనటువంటి భావములు మరి ఎట్లా వస్తాయి, రావడానికి వీలు లేదే అని మీరు సందేహించవచ్చు.
You may doubt how to cultivate broad
ఈ
feelings.
భవనము లోపల ఒకటి పడక గది ఉంటుండాది.
In this beautiful mansion there is a bedroom,
ఒకటి స్నానపు గది ఉంటుండాది.
bathroom,
ఒకటి వంట గది ఉంటుండాది.
kitchen,
ఇంకోటి ఏదో స్టోర్ గది ఉంటుండాది.
the store
ఈ
room.
విధంగా అనేక రకమైనటువంటి గదులంతా మనం కట్టుకున్నాము.
You have built so many rooms there.
అయితే ఇవి గదులు వేరువేరుగా మనం భావిస్తున్నాము.
You think that rooms are
వీటిని
different.
వేరువేరుగా మనం అనుభవిస్తున్నాము.
You experience accordingly.
కానీ
But-
దీనికి ఏది కారణము?
What is it that's responsible?
ఆ పడక గదికి, ఈ స్టోర్ గదికి, ఈ వంట గదికి, ఈ విధమైనటువంటి తినే డైనింగ్ హాల్ కు అంత కారణం ఏమిటి? గోడలే, మధ్యలో ఉన్న గోడలే దీనికి మూల కారణం.
You have set apart the bedroom, storeroom and the kitchen and the dining hall because the walls raised in
ఈ
between.
వాల్స్ అంతా, గోడలంతా కొట్టివేస్తే అంతా ఒకే హాల్ అయిపోతుంది.
When once you remove all these walls, it becomes single hall.
అదే రీతిగానే ఇది నా వారు, నా బిడ్డ, నా భార్య, నా అత్త, నా మామ అని ఈ ఉపాధుల యొక్క దీనిని గోడలుగా కట్టుకోవడం చేతనే మనకు చిన్న చిన్న రూములుగా ఉండి అది వేరు, ఇది వేరు, ఇది వేరు, ఇది వేరు. ఈ గోడలను కొట్టివేసేయండి, అంతా విశాలమైపోతుంది.
Because of the body feeling, you have raised narrow walls like so and so is my wife, so and so is my
ఈ
son, like that.
సంకుచితమైనటువంటి ప్రేమలు పెరిగిపోతున్నాయి దినానికి.
You are only fostering narrow viewpoint.
విశాలమైనటువంటి ఆనందాలు మనలో ప్రాప్తించలేకపోతున్నాయి.
You are not having that infinite
ఎన్ని
love.
దినములు జపములు చేసినా, ధ్యానం చేసినా, భజనలు చేసినా ఈ సంకుచితమైనటువంటి పెరుగుతుండాలి కానీ విశాలత పెరగటం లేదు.
In spite of long chanting in the Lord's name and also penance,
విశాలం,
you are only
విశాలం,
having narrow-mindedness.
విశాలం.
You should expand your vision.
ఇది ఏ నిజమైనటువంటి సాధన.
This true penance.
కనుక దేహాభిమానమును కొంతవరకు తగ్గించుకోండి.
You should reduce this body
దేహం
attachment.
ఆరోగ్యం చూసుకోవాల్సిందే.
You should think of your health.
వేళ వేళకు ఆహారం అందించవలసిందే.
You should have your food.
కానీ ఇది ఏ సత్యమని మనం భావించరాదు.
But you should not take it as the ultimate truth.
बुद्ध तू स्कंद विनायक सविता पावक तू सविता पावक तू ब्रह्म वस्व तू यम वशक्ति तू येसु पिता प्रभु तू, रुद्र विश्व तू, राम कृष्ण तू, रहीमताऊ तू, रहीमताऊ तू। वासुदेव गो विश्वरूप तू, चिदानंद हरि तू, अद्वितीय तू, अकाल निर्भय आत्मलिंग शिव तू, आत्मलिंग शिव तू, आत्मलिंग शिव तू।
आसतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी सत्य साई हरे, भक्त जना संरक्षक, भक्त जना संरक्षक, पते महेश्वरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, शशिवदना श्रीकरा, सर्वा प्राणपदे, स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपदे, आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आश्रित कल्पलतिका, आपद बांधवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, मात पिता गुरुदैवमु मर्यन्तयु नीवे, स्वामी मर्यन्तयु नीवे, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा, नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा, नागेन्द्राशयना। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी साई महादेवा, सत्य साई महादेवा। मंगल हारति अंदुको, मंगल हारति अंदुको, मंदर गिरिधारी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम, सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम, सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम, सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। ओम जय शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।
परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं परमं विचित्रं लीला विभूतिं परमार्थैष्टार्थमोक्षप्रदानं बाबा विभूतिं दिनमाश्रयामि। Sacred, holy and supreme is Baba's Vibhutim. Pouring forth in sacred stream, displayed of Vibhutim. So auspicious is His light, it grants liberation. Baba's Vibhutim, His power protects me. Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhutim Paramam Vichitram Leela Vibhutim Paramarthaishtarthamokshapradanam Baba Vibhutim Idamashayami Baba Vibhutim Idamashayami Baba Vibhutim Idamashayami. Mangalam Gurudevaya Mangalam Jnanadayine Mangalam Parthivasaya Mangalam Shri Sathya Saine Mangalam Shri Sathya Saine Mangalam Shri Sathya Saine. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Saram and morning, everyone. Control, are you receiving? Over.
Yeah.
Good, good. Right, quite a few things to talk about today. First of all, did any of you read the article on Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, which I sent out last week, or rather Thursday? And do any of you have comments to make on the article? Any hands going up, Anu? Hello? Hello, Anil?
Yes. I haven't seen any hands up.
Okay, okay. So I had a second read of it, and I really thought, you know, he was a really charismatic leader, and also very intelligent with a good military brain. I mean, he went to Cambridge, and that was because in Calcutta, he challenged the lecturers in the university, and he confronted them because they were sort of running down Indian culture. So he got suspended from the university, and his dad sent him to England, and he studied in Cambridge. He was a very selfless person, and he had the power to bring people round to his cause, which was fighting for the independence of India. And in this article, it does say that ordinary people signed up to the Indian National Army. And they talk about Singapore. And I'll just read you a bit. People who did not have any military experience at all, e.g., Dr. Lakshmi Swaminathan, who she gave up her very successful practice as a gynecologist to join his army. And in our own family, my dad's cousin, Yoganathan uncle, he was in Singapore, and he was nothing to do with the military. He signed up with this INA because when I was a young boy, not having heard about Netaji at all, he used to tell us stories, how he joined up, he did the training, he learned Hindi, because, you know, we speak Tamil, so he learned Hindi. So it is absolutely right that Netaji had the power to get people around him for this bigger cause of liberating India. And he was totally selfless. People will think, all right, he's just doing it because he wants to be president and prime minister of India. But reading from this article, Swami's discourse here, he repeatedly and emphatically declared in his public speeches that if the INA succeeded in liberating India, he would toss over that freedom to the people and retire into spiritual oblivion. So he had this cause, he was determined to achieve it, and then he was going to just leave it and go into spirituality. One of the great leaders of the world, just like Fidel Castro, Desmond Tutu, and these are people that we should try to emulate, you know. And it's not surprising that Swami cried when he gave this speech. So I urge all of you to have a read of this. It's a very uplifting article here. Right. So if you want to read the article, it's in Thursday's announcements. And there's something interesting. The person who wrote this is Colonel Bose. And I was telling Anil the story. His dad was Brigadier Bose. And one day during the darshan, Brigadier Bose had a heart attack. And Swami brought him back to life. And when he brought him back to life, Brigadier Bose said that when he was, you know, clinically dead, he saw a Garuda landing in the hall, I think with tears in his eyes, waiting to take him back to Vishnu. Now that is really amazing. I was telling Anil, if we can find this piece, it was either something I read or I heard, hopefully it's in a video, and maybe we can, you know, review it during one of our study circles. So that was something really interesting. What else have I got to say? Right, you know, last week, I was trying to remember the name of the devotee who I bumped into when I was doing the Labour Party door knocking. And as soon as I signed off from the announcements, I remembered it was young Amitesh. And that prompts me to give you all a tip. If you have young children, e.g. a little Krishna or little Nina in your household who's sitting exams. When you sit for exams and you're trying to answer a question, this is a tip that we give our students at the OU, by the way. We give them a session on revision and examination preparation. So if you're sitting an exam, you're looking at a question and you know that you've got something in your head, a piece of fact that you need to put in a question and it's just not coming to you. Don't sit there for half hour thinking about it. Just move on to the next question, which will be something different, and then the fact will come back to you. So this is a tip. If you can't remember something, quickly move on to something else, and then the fact will just sort of appear in your head. This is very important in exams because you have to have a good time management policy in exams. You set a certain amount of time for each question and don't spend any more than that because you have to answer every question that's compulsory. And with exam questions, the first few marks are always easy to obtain. So always try to do all the compulsory questions. And you know, you're sure to pass. So the good tip, if you have young children who have exams in school, so tell them that. Don't waste too much time sitting there thinking about one question. Right, GDPR, I hope everybody sorted out the GDPR. Some of you are probably thinking, what GDPR? Well, if you look at the announcements for Thursday, you'll find all about it. There's a link. You just have to get in there and it will take you less than 2 minutes. I mean, I'm a one-finger typer, typist, and it took me less than 2 minutes. So I'm sure you all will do better. Right. Bach Shelter, is Godfrey with us, Anil?
I believe he is.
Okay, excellent. Godfrey, take over, please.
Sairam,
Saram.
Saram,
Saram, yeah, receiving, yeah.
Thank you, Uncle Suresh. The Bach Shelter sent us a letter, which I did pass on to all the OBs, and I believe Uncle Suresh sent it to all our Sai Center members as well. We need to provide a response, a reply to the Bach Shelter, which I will do just after this budget session. I'll be replying to the letter they sent us, and anyone who would like to participate in any of the events, swimathon for residents that they did ask, please do contact me, and I will be able to get things done. I thank you. I thank the Sai Center family for what you've done, as the letter so says, because you provided us with an opportunity to serve. Excellent. You did excellently well. Thank you so much. And with that, yes, Saira.
Okay, thanks for Godfrey. So as Godfrey said, if you're a good swimmer, please tell Godfrey, because they're having the swimathon. And it won't be too onerous, because you won't have to do one length at a time, because it's a team effort, right? Yep, summer showers. I put up a slide in the announcements about how we spend our time using our body. So have a think about that, and maybe we can use that as a prompt for one of our study circles. And related to summer showers, I had a very uplifting WhatsApp chat with young Sanjay Vaja, who's the facilitator in the group that I'm in. You'll find out why it's uplifting when I reach the end, okay? So we're having this dialogue, and he says, this is Sanjay, you mentioned your Sai Center. Remind me which one it is, please. Is it Luton? Thinking face icon. Or Merton? Thinking face icon. And I'm replying, neither, Sanjay, smiley face. Milton Keynes, the center of the universe. And then he replies, he. I've heard, and two icons with tears of joy, with happiness. I've heard a lot about your 24-hour Akhanda Bhajan with regular multi-faith support. And then an icon with affectionate feelings of affection. Now you're probably thinking, how come Suresh, being a dinosaur, knows all about these icons? Well, basically, because he printed out a glossary of icons, which looks like this. So he knows a little bit about icons now. Yeah, anyway, Sanjay replies, I've heard a lot about your 24-hour Akhanda Bhajans with regular multi-faith support. Then I reply, those were the good old days. We are now reduced to 4 hours on Zoom, but luckily still multi-faith, thanks to rapport built over the years. And then Sanjay replies, I think that's amazing, a real example for others to follow. Now, Sanjay is in Manchester, which is, a million miles from here. So I replied, all credit to Seelan Mudley, the founder of our Sai Center, who had this brilliant idea. So Seelan, well done for putting us on the map. And may we long have these multi-faith sessions. Inshallah, November, we should have a face-to-face on this. Right. Finally, we have a health webinar on Tuesday. And this is on shoulder pain, run by Dr. Arul Srinivasan, who is actually our regional president. Now, she's an expert on pain and pain relief. And if you look at that poster, there's a link there. There's an email address there if you want to send any questions. But don't send her a letter saying, dear Sister Arul, I work in an office in Bletchley near that big Asda, and I've got 6 colleagues with me, and 2 of them are real pain, what do you think I should do? So don't send something like that because you probably won't get an answer. Just keep your questions focused on shoulder pain, which is what she's going to talk about. Okay, that covers the things I had to say. Does anybody have any questions, comments, anything, queries about this week or anything about our Sai Center? Anybody at all? Anil, can you see any hands?
Not so far.
Okay. All right, everyone. Have a good week.
There is one hand, Sister Christine.
Okay, Radhika, go ahead.
You are mute, Sister Christine.
Okay. Sairam, yeah, it's regarding the multi-faith gathering. It's normally on the first Thursday of the month. I haven't actually had any notification of this, but if it comes through before, I'll put it on the WhatsApp.
Okay, thanks, Radhika. That's right. Our interfaith MK meetings are on the first Thursday of every month. And I got a message from Fazli because, you know, I've been communicating with him about Netaji. And he said he's actually going to be talking at February's meeting about faith and sensibility or something. Anyway, we'll get the message. We'll get the interfaith newsletter in due course. As soon as I get it, I will disseminate it to everybody. And as Radhika said, please do tune in because it's so easy. It's so easy on Zoom, you know? Okay. I forgot to thank Swami for looking after all of us this week and forevermore. And we pray that all of us will be safe. Anil, before I sign off, any other questions or queries?
None.
Excellent. All right, Anil, have a good trip to the States. We will see you when you come back. Seelan will be managing the control room next Sunday. All of you have a good week. Look after yourselves. God bless. Sairam.
Right. Thank you.
Sairam.